Hey people, it is Tuesday, June the 13th. The time is 4:07 in the afternoon. And it's currently 18 degrees Celsius and very overcast with on and off rain. Currently it's off, but I do have my umbrella with me if it comes back on again. And I'm on King Street East. We are in the Corktown neighborhood. There's Lower River, with River Street continuing north from there. And I'm going to be making my way west along King Street for a bit. Eventually making my way to Adelaide Street and then to Jarvis Street. I'll be walking north along Jarvis, perhaps as far north as Carlton. So it'll be a east side of downtown walk for its entirety. And I'm also going to check out a laneway with a cool name that I just recently noticed in another video and thought I would come back and walk along it. Any Beatles fans might enjoy that particular part of the video. This is a very historic area, one of the oldest parts of the city. The east side of downtown is where the original community of York first grew up, which later became Toronto. So many buildings here date from the mid-19th century. York itself started developing at the end of the 1700s. I think some of the oldest buildings in this area date from around the time when the city of Toronto was incorporated in the 1830s. .504 King. That's coming from the distillery loop over by the distillery district. Which is another historic neighborhood. Riverside Church. I wonder what this building originally was, though. Doesn't look like it was built to be a church building. I could be wrong, though. And this old warehouse building stood in as the police station in the sci-fi show Orphan Black Goes back around 10 years or so when that show was running. It was one of my favorite shows at the time. Still a number of these old garages dotting this area. Those are proving to be quite a rarity, increasingly so, as the city develops. King Street in this area does not run in a continuous straight line. It sort of takes a bit of a turn, so that provides some pretty cool vistas looking towards the heart of downtown. You can see some buildings facing us on an angle. You can see some of the financial district towers popping up in the distance also.
Okay.
And whenever I walk by here, I always have to take note of this. I think the oldest continuously operating church in the city, the Little Trinity Church. I think that dates from the 1830s. I'm not sure exactly. There's a sign over here, a plaque. (1843). Okay, I wasn't too far off. And the neighboring Little Trinity House. Parliament Street, major north-south street here on the east side of downtown. And this is also where we leave Corktown, and I believe we come into what is referred to as Old Town Toronto. And here's where the street sort of takes that turn I was referring to. And there's a straight shot right through the heart of the financial district up ahead. You can see the bank towers off in the distance.
I'm gonna say I don't want you to be.
Crossing Berkeley Street. And that new office tower is just about topped out now. It's the new EQ Bank Tower. Oh, and I just felt a raindrop. The rain has just been on and off ever since I came outside today. Didn't rain at all before I went outside, of course. Once my foot hits the pavement, the first drops started falling. Lots of new developments happening all around the east side here. I'll resist opening the umbrella until it forces me to. It's still very light right now. Oh, what the heck. Let's open the umbrella. Maybe we'll get some sounds of rain hitting the umbrella. It's always nice. Oops, I have to unvelcro it. There you go. So here's Princess Street. So this will take us down to that Beatles-themed portion of the walk I was referring to earlier. I passed by here in another recent video. This time I'm going to walk along Abbey Lane. It's not quite Abbey Road, but it's the closest thing we have to it here in Toronto as far as I know. Of course, it's just a laneway. There's really not much going on in here. But I've never walked through this laneway before, so it's something new for the channel. There's no zebra crossing, obviously, marked on the pavement. But it does give us this awesome view of this construction site here. It's a 39-story tower going up here on the corner of Sherbourne and Front, which is just over in that direction. Here we go, our walk through Abbey Lane. See, they preserved the facade of the old building here as part of this development. So as I mentioned, that's Front Street right down there. And this is Sherbourne. So I'm just going to take this up to Adelaide. I think it already stopped raining. Like I said, it's totally on and off. I'll close the umbrella again. It was open for a grand total of about 3 minutes. Here's Adelaide. It's a very long, or very wide cycle path running along the length of the street. And very long also. Runs all the way across downtown.
For like 4 weeks, they're full.
Okay, sure.
Just say I'd be a neighbor.
There's the George Brown College campus. Very urban downtown campus. It spans several blocks in this area. And Toronto's first post office. With the museum and gift shop on site here. It's constructed in 1833 to 1835. And I believe Toronto was incorporated as a city in 1834. And George Street.
Yes, but it's that thing like, oh, that's a cool post that. Gotta get active.
The southern part of George Street is actually quite nice. Once you go north of Queen, though, it takes on a much different character.
Remember, big stuff.
And here is Jarvis Street. So this is where we're going to start heading north. You can see St. James Park across the way. I recently referred to this as my choice for the most beautiful downtown park. Jarvis Street is mainly a traffic funnel, getting cars from the north end of downtown down to the Gardner Expressway. The southernmost part of it, though, is the most urban and charming. At least there are some historic buildings to be found here. I'm not sure if they succeeded with what they were going for with this building. It has a faux historic look to it, but it It's not quite convincing to me. Looks a bit like an imitation, which it is obviously, but could have been done much better, but that would have cost a lot more money, I guess. Tons of new development here, as I mentioned earlier, all around the east side of downtown. Queen and Jarvis. Let's cross to the other side. Maybe I'll take this opportunity to plug in my power bank. It's always hard to do these sorts of things with one hand. All right, now to plug it in. Okay, I believe I'm all powered up. The camera probably had about 5 minutes of life left to it. Not enough to get me to where I plan to go. I think that tower will rise to 50 stories. It'll really stand out here on this side of downtown. Find a way to hold my camera and power bank in one hand because I have my umbrella in the other hand, which I regret bringing with me now. It never rained hard enough to really need it. It happens all too often. This is a new Hyatt hotel with a very unusual design, which I think is actually turning out quite well. It'll really stand out. More towers rising over that way. And straight up ahead, yet another one. Beautiful townhouses across the street. I think that's the only historic section left on this whole block, really. Even though it's only around 18 degrees, it feels very humid right now. Much more sticky than you would expect it to be. We are at Dundas. So we're very close to where I live now. So as you can see now, Jarvis Street is a 5-lane street, depending on the type of day, on the time of day I should say. 3 lanes will be northbound and 2 will be southbound. And they can change that with some indicators above the street. It'll tell you which way you're allowed to go in that 5th lane. And this new tower rising here has dramatically impacted this area, bringing a whole different feel to it, much more of a big city downtown feel to this part of Jarvis. That was a bit lacking before. And I believe there's a proposal, I think right here, for an even taller tower. And I think this one is turning out very well. On the north and south, or east and west sides, I should say, there's these gold accents that you can see. I think it looks great. You still gotta like these older apartment buildings too. Coming up to Gerard. So I'm going to cross here again. Jarvis Street Baptist Church. I think they installed all this fencing around the steps to stop people from camping out and making themselves at home on the steps of the church. Allen Gardens is just immediately to the east of here. Actually begins right here, but the main part of the park is on the other side of the conservatory, and that part has become an enormous tent community with about 75 tents. And I believe this old house here is going to be part of a new development, where they're going to preserve it as well as its neighbor, the new tower. As you can see, this part of Allen Gardens doesn't have any tents, but just go a bit further east, and that quickly changes. And this was an old historic hotel. Now I don't know what's going to become of this building. So the new tower is rising right next door. I think I can unplug my power bank now. I have enough juice to get me up to Carlton Street, which is where I'm going to start wrapping up this video. I hope you enjoyed this walk around the east side of downtown on a overcast afternoon. A bit of rain on and off. Made our way from Corktown to Old Town, along King, and then Adelaide, and then Jarvis Street. Taking note of some historic buildings and new developments along the way. So leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the walk. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And there's also a super thanks button right down below if you'd like to support the channel that way. And you can find me on Instagram also, under K Continuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.